field we're standing in today is the Broadbalk experiment. It's the longest running experiment in the world. It was established in 1843 to look at the impacts of chemical fertilisers on crops and soils.
This is the Rothamsted Sample Archive. This is where we store all of the crop and soil samples from the Rothamsted long-term experiments. The Sample Archive, dating back to 1843, really covers the last 200 years of agriculture in the UK and all the changes that have taken place in that time. But the effects on the biological activity in the soil itself, we're not so sure about.
Soils are the most complex ecosystems on the planet. They're even more complex than tropical rainforests. And in fact, over 60% of all life on Earth exists in our soils. A lot of the organisms that live in them are very small, microscopic, and you can't see them with the naked eye. Currently, the way we understand the complexity of these soils is by using sophisticated, expensive equipment in laboratories. So how can we convey the importance of these microorganisms in the soils to the general public? How can we value something we can't see? One of the ways we've been doing this is by working with artists to try and find new ways to convey the complexity of soils.
These bottles, lovely. These ones are 1914. There you go, we've got some of those. And the ones at the top, look at that, 1881. Well, I don't know what's in here, but it's soil, and possibly there'll be bacteria, there'll be fungal spores. Nothing too big, certainly no earthworms, but there'll be microorganisms, soil microbes, many of which probably aren't even known to science. I'm going to be working with my technique I invented called bioglyphs, where I place soil on top of old photographic films, and given time and a bit of moisture, the living matter in the soil starts to etch through the film. So what I'm hoping to find is that perhaps even in these really old samples of soil, we've still got something alive.
Modern agriculture and climate change are two of the biggest threats to these complex ecosystems. Only by seeing, communicating and understanding the importance of life in soils can we help protect this valuable resource for generations to come.
Martin, I'm really looking forward to showing you the bioglyphs from the soil archive.
Well, I'm really excited to see them. I just hope we see some signs of life in them. Oh wow. Wow, look at that. That's amazing.
So that's just a test at the minute.
Wow, that's beautiful though, isn't it? It's magical. Yeah, I really think it is.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I definitely do. I want it on my wall. I really do. I'd love to have that on my wall. So even though this soil is 25 years old and it's been stored air dried for 25 years, we've still got loads of evidence of microbial activity within that soil, even after that amount of time.
What I like to think is that this soil and the living organisms in the soil are, in some very small way, being creative. And that, to me, is the essence of art. So it's 1914.
And I think one of the stark contrast between the fresh soils and the archived soils, the difference is massive, and it shows that we've taken a lot of the life out of the soil by drying it and storing it, but not all of it. And so there's still messages left there. There's still stories left in those archived soils that we can develop and visually see and scientifically understand potentially.
If art becomes too scientific, it perhaps loses something as art. And it may be that if the opposite way, if science becomes too artistic, perhaps it's lost some of its scientific rigour. But I think with this process, it is actually quite finely balanced, so that there is possibilities for some real science here. But we haven't lost that art side of it.